Hey, gang. Today, I want to drop in another episode of why network marketing, why you, and why now. And this one is about full or part time, and it's about wealth building. So, hey, I just posted an article on my personal page. I'll move it over to the fan page in the comments so you can see it. It's an article about how the trend in North America is for people to be quitting their jobs and moving into the gig economy, right? Whether it's Uber or Airbnb or being a graphic artist or a coder or whatever people want to do, people are starting to take advantage of the opportunities as our culture shifts and our economy shifts and the job market shifts, where people can make a good living working from home, right? So we fit right into that. It's a trend. It's moving in that direction. It's like the trend that I posted earlier on my fan page about, the $100 billion a year industry where people are, supplementing themselves. They're investing $100 or $200 a month in supplementing their diet to prevent disease, as opposed to paying $200 to $1,000 a month for insurance for when we do get sick. So these are trends that are happening. And the trend that I posted on my personal page is the trend of people moving into that gig economy. And we're way ahead of that curve, right? We've been there for 70 years. But here's the piece that I want to share with you around our gig economy and jobs and part-time and full-time. So it's kind of the dream of a lot, maybe not all, but a lot of network marketers to go full-time. That's kind of a holy grail. It's kind of a badge of honor. Let's get full-time. Let's leave our job behind. Let's quit our job. And so I just want you to consider some alternatives. Are basically, think about this. If you earn $5,000 a month in your network marketing opportunity, and for those of you that might be, listening to this that, don't, you're not in network marketing yet, that's one of the reasons that people get involved in network marketing is they're looking to earn an extra income. Maybe it's $500 a month, maybe it's 1,000, maybe it's 5,000, maybe it's a lot more, right? And one of the reasons they're motivated to do that oftentimes is because they don't like their job. And they're looking to stay home with their family, and they're looking to take advantage of that gig economy where they can work from home. Like, it used to be called a home-based business. Now we tend to call it a phone-based business, because it doesn't matter if you're at home or in the car, or not on your phone while you're in the car, but you can be sitting in your car, you can be in a coffee shop, you can be on the beach, you can be anywhere in the world. And as long as you have a connection with your phone, you can build a network marketing business. And so, the idea of getting to something like $5,000 a month in residual income from a network marketing opportunity, certainly most people don't do that. That is rarefied air, but everybody can do it. And, it's one of the things that we focus on in Bliss Business is, look, it doesn't have to be that 1% of us that pursue building a residual income are the only ones that get it. Anybody can do it. Any one of you out there that are listening and considering perhaps network marketing as an opportunity, what we want you to know is you can do it. Even though most people don't, that doesn't keep you from being the one who can. It is a pretty simple, predictable system. If you pick the right company and the right products, and probably the person who might be showing this to you can tell you the difference between companies and products, and when it comes to building an income in network marketing, what kind of products work and which ones don't. If you pick the right company and the right products and you do the right things for a year or two, you can get to $4,000 or $5,000 a month within 4 or 5 years. You can get there. Just follow the system. So here's the extraordinary thing from a wealth building standpoint about what we offer in network marketing. We offer that opportunity to create that kind of side income, that kind of extra income, that kind of mad money, if you will. And here's why it's so important for life, for our future, for freedom, for security, for protection, is if you think about jobs and the job economy and job incomes, how do you build wealth doing that? Kind of the system is the 401k system. But the problem with a 401k is you have to stay at a job for 30 or 40 years before you build up $1 million in a 401k. And then, unfortunately, 40 years from now, $1 million because of inflation is only worth $500,000. So, it is a snail's pace way to get to wealth building. And by the time we have 40 years into a job, we're 70 years old usually. And so our golden years, we may have only 10, 15, maybe 20 at the most golden years, and we don't have very much money to enjoy those golden years. That's one of the reasons why people look at network marketing as an opportunity, because we may only work our network marketing business 30 to 60 minutes a day, but after 6 months, a year, 18 months, 12, 24 months, we've leveraged that time. So we may be putting in an hour a day, but we're getting paid on 100 hours or 200 hours or 500 hours or 1,000 hours. Why? Because we have the advantage of that geometric growth of the sales organization. So while we may put in an hour, we're getting paid on 100 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 other people who are putting in on an hour a day. Where else can you do that? Where else can you leverage your time and get that many people contributing to your income? Only in network marketing. So when it comes to wealth building, what's the strategic wealth building advantage of network marketing? It's that extra income, right? It's that extra $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month in income. Now, I said earlier, a lot of people get involved in network marketing because they want to quit their job and they want to go full time. But here's the mistake, the strategic mistake in doing that. You get to $5,000 a month in your network marketing opportunity. Let's say you pursued the 4-year career. You worked it really hard. You filled your pipeline the first couple of years. You personally enrolled 80 to 100 people. You blew on the fire. You fanned the fire. You led, you coached, you trained, you provided systems, and you let those geometric progressions work for you for the next 2 years. And you grow an organization of a couple of hundred into a couple of thousand. Now your 5th year, you've graduated to 4-year career with, let's say, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month in residual income. Well, guess what? You've hit a home run. I mean, you're in rarefied air. That's an extraordinary accomplishment. Anybody can do it, but most people don't, right? So, but here's the temptation. We get to that $4,000 or $5,000 a month. We don't like our job. We want to be home. We want to be on the beach. So we think about quitting our job and going full time. And I'm not opposed to that. I did it, So some people, we're just all in or we're all out. We can't do both. I get that. But I just want you to think about the wealth building and also the role modeling impact of going full time. And maybe the strategy, instead of quitting jobs altogether, is that if you don't like your job, if your job has you working 60 hours a week, when you build up your network marketing income, instead of just leaving the job behind and going full-time in network marketing, how about you find a job that maybe provides benefits, maybe provides a 401k, but has flex hours, that maybe you're only working 32 hours a week. Maybe you get to work from home a couple of days a week. So you hang on to the job part of wealth building, but you also have your network marketing income. And here's why that's so important from a wealth building standpoint. If you're making $5,000 a month from your network marketing gig, let's say it's 4 or 5 years after you started, I mean, that's a home run, right? That's awesome. But if you quit your job and you go full time and you're making $5,000 a month, you're broke like everyone else. That's kind of the median income in the United States anyway, about $5,000 a month. Half people make less than that. Half the people make more than that. But you know this, if you make $5,000 a month, you don't have any extra money. You don't have $1,000 a month to invest in real estate or equities or anything that's going to build wealth. You're spending every nickel of that money. And that's probably in a double income family. One of you makes $5,000 a month. The other one maybe makes $7,000 or $8,000 a month. You combine the two, you still don't have $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month to invest in wealth building. You're spending all of it until you get to maybe 20 or 30 grand a month from job income. So how do you build wealth? Well, you build it through building a side income through network marketing. I'll get to the numbers of that. But I just want you to think about if you get to $5,000 a month in network marketing and you quit your job and go full time, well, you don't have any money anymore. You're right back to where you were with job, right? Where think about if you hang on to your job or you go find a job that you can actually enjoy that fits better your lifestyle, and you set your lifestyle up around your job income. So let's say your job income is $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. Set your lifestyle up around your job income. That would be what kind of car do you drive? What kind of home do you live in? How do you spend your money? Match it up to your job income and keep your network marketing income as extra, as mad money. What do you do with that mad money? Well, there's lots of things you can do with it. You can pay down debt. If you have expensive debt, for sure. First thing is pay that debt down. If you have debt that's anything over 7, 8, 9% interest, pay that debt down first. But once your debts are paid off, other than real estate debts, what do you do with that extra network marketing income? Well, if you're doing this for wealth building, invest it. Invest it in real estate or invest it in the equities. And what I want you to think about is how fast you can get to rich, how fast you can get to wealthy, how fast you can get to 10 foot tall and bulletproof financially, how fast you can change the course of your family's financial security for generations to come. You can change it all in 10 years. 10 years of $5,000 a month invested in the stock market. Average long-term return of the stock market is about 10%. If you've got a significant amount of money, you're not getting the small returns, you're getting the good returns. If you invest $5,000 a month for 10 years, folks, guess how much money you have? Just over $1 million, $1,050,000 cash. You're a cash millionaire. You're not I own a home that might be worth $1 million if I can sell it, but then where do I live? You're not that kind of millionaire. You're a cash millionaire. That's totally different. You're a cash millionaire in 10 years. So if you're like working a 4-year career, you can be at a cash millionaire place in 14 years. Now I know 14 years may sound like a long time, but here's how I want you to think about it. I want you to think about go back. When was 14 years ago? Remember that? See, I'm 63. I was 49 years old 14 years ago, right? I remember that like yesterday. My 50th birthday, I took this epic Harley trip from northern Idaho to Cabo San Lucas. I took a half a dozen of my buddies. We rode our Harleys down to Cabo and came back for my 50th birthday. And then I realized this vision that I'd had since I was 22 that the Doobie Brothers would play at my 50th birthday party. And they did, kind of. I actually sang on stage with the Doobie Brothers on my 50th birthday or a couple weeks after it. I remember that like it was yesterday, right? 14 years ago. Guess how fast 14 years is coming? Like light speed. Doesn't matter if you're 63 like me or 43 or 73. It's coming anyway, right? So in that period of time, if you set your life up on your job, change your job if you don't like it, but use all of your network marketing money to invest. I just want you to see the numbers and see where you can be financially. In 14 years, you can be a cash millionaire. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that at 10%, you invest that $1 million at 10%, that you are earning $1 million or $100,000 a year just in interest. That's over $8,000 a month in income off that $1 million. You're earning more money every month off the income of that $1 million than you use to build up the $1 million, the $5,000 a month. So if you still are earning $5,000 a month from your network marketing business and you have $1 million cash in the bank and that's earning you $8,300 a month, you have $13,333 a month in income. Now let's just say you hang on to your job for another 5 years. Depending on how old you are. In another 5 years, folks, If you invest the $13,000, you just let the interest from the $1 million pile up and compound every month, and you keep adding that $5,000 a month to the million. Now in 5 years, you have $2 million. And $2 million, folks, will pay you $200,000 a year for the rest of your life. And guess what? It'll pay you $200,000 a year for the rest of your kids' lives. Imagine that. Imagine you had 2 kids, and the day they graduate from college, what they get is $100,000 a year for life. Now, I know that could ruin some kids, but let's just say your kids were developed, raised with good character, good morals, good thinking, right? By the time they graduated from college, they had some maturity developed. They understood something about money, and they inherited or were provided through the family wealth $100,000 a year for the rest of their life. Now, here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think that you graduated from college, and because your family was wealthy, the family attorney sat down with you and said, Karen, now you get to access the family wealth. And here's how the family wealth works. You have in income, Karen, $100,000 a year. It's $8,300 a month for your entire life. Now, we're not suggesting you don't work. We're not suggesting you don't have a business. We're just telling you, on top of everything you do to go out and produce a contribution in the world, for you to make your mark and make a difference, you have a base, you have a floor, you have the security of knowing that you're always going to earn $8,300 a month no matter what. 8,300, yeah, $8,333 roughly, $100,000 a year. Here's what I want you to think about. What kind of decisions would you have made differently about your life? Would you have made different marital decisions? Would you have made different living arrangement decisions? Would you have made different career decisions, different education decisions, different health decisions, different travel and adventure decisions, different friendship decisions? Now, those of you that know the history of the 4-year career know that I came up with this concept in 1979 in anticipation of recruiting a bunch of marketing major students at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. I had this grand plan that I was going to pitch these marketing majors on not quitting college, but actually building a network marketing income while they went to college. So when they graduated their 5th year, instead of groveling for a job, instead of ending up living in a city and building a life pretty much based out of whatever company offered them any kind of a decent job coming out of college, what if they graduated college and they had a 4, 5, 6, this was 1979, so I think I was showing them $4,000 or $5,000 a month. What if you graduated college and had that kind of income coming in? What kind of decisions would you make different? Like maybe would you travel the world for a year and learn the world, see the world, meet people? Maybe you'd have the time to do something that I am coaching a young man that I'm mentoring, who's a senior at Iowa State, oddly enough. And, he's not sure what he wants to do, but he's brilliant and he's talented, but he's not sure what kind of career does he want. So I'm setting him up for an hour-long interview where he calls up and interviews for an hour 30 or 40 self-made multimillionaires that I know in all walks of life, all different businesses, all different religions, all different races, all different areas of the country. He's going to probably spend 6 months studying the diversity of success and cultures and lifestyles and decision-making process. What if you had the freedom to do that? And so what the point of all this wealth building conversation is, sometimes you maybe see the old money, the wealthy people in your community, and you may ask, like, well, how did they get so much money? And it could be as simple as somebody just created the vision, created the plan, and dedicated themselves for as little as maybe 10 or 12 or 14 years and changed entire generations of a family. change their wealth building forever. Because here's what I know, folks. If you'd have started off with $8,000 a month in income as a college graduate, now go out in life and you had $8,000 a month in income, yes, some of us would blow through it. I probably would have. But some of us would have invested that in a business. Some of us would have invested that in education. Some of us would have invested that in contribution. Some of us would have leveraged that money to build a 10x life, a 20x life, a 100x life, 10x of what we've created, through the sort of the job paradigm, the groveling paradigm, the grinding paradigm of working 60 hours a week just to pay the bills. And we do that for 40 years so we can retire for the golden years on 40% of what wasn't enough for 40 years. It's a bankrupt paradigm. I know some people make it work, but the odds of making it work are so much different today than they were even 20 or 30 years ago. Like 401k is pretty much a thing of the past for people starting a job today. Companies morphing and getting acquired and going out of business and changing their, you can't count on working for a company for 30 or 40 years. You got to have a system. You got to have a plan that anticipates radical change. You got to have a plan and a system that anticipates disruption. You got to have a plan of something that anticipates the Amazons of the world and the Apples of the world, right? Because they change everything. They change the game. And so what is your system? What is your plan? What's your system to set your family up for generations to come, for the next 100 years, for the next 500 years, to be a family that has a basis of wealth so that they can go out and create a 10x or 20x life? What's your plan for that? And so the point of all of this is, if you fall into that ether of, okay, I'm making $5,000 a month in network marketing, so I'm going to quit my job and go full time. Big mistake. You're broke like everybody else, right? And there's nothing less attractive in the world than a broke, desperate network marketer. Nothing less attractive. And think about this from a connecting, inviting standpoint. You're talking to somebody about the opportunity the way you saw it when you first got involved, where maybe all you could see was $500 a month or $1,000 a month. Like, that's the opportunity that you're sharing with somebody new that you're working with. But yet, you're full-time. You're showing them a part-time opportunity, but you're full-time. What you want to think about is the disconnect there. The disconnect that from the person that you're talking to, that you're looking to cast a vision. They're hearing what you say, but they're looking at you, and you're full-time. Now, if you're showing them an opportunity to make $1,000 or $2,000 a month on a very part-time basis, and you're full-time, they expect that you make $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, and you better look like it. You better act like it, right? And then, no matter what you're showing them on paper, if who you are is a full-time networker, then they have this feeling that they can't measure up to you. They can't do what you're doing. They can't be who you are, right? Because they don't see that vision for themselves. Maybe they don't even want it, right? They have a family, they have a job, they have obligations. They'd love an extra $700 or $800 a month, but they can't see themselves doing this full time. So they don't relate to you. But no matter how much money you earn as a network marketer, what if you always had the posture of being part-time? What if you're making $10,000, $15,000 a month and it's part-time mad money, right? You still have a core profession. Doesn't mean you have a 60-hour-a-week job. You still have a core profession, whatever it is. Maybe it's only 20 hours a week, but that's your job. Maybe it's 30 hours a week. And if you keep your lifestyle matched up to that job income, and you use your network marketing income to build wealth, you can change your family's wealth profile forever. And you can do it in the next 10 or 15 years. So just consider that. Consider the opportunity that we have here at Network Marketing to invest 30 minutes, an hour a day. I know some of you think, oh my gosh, it takes so much more than that. Now, go watch The Secret Formula again if you forgot about it. You know, if you invite one person a day to take a look at this opportunity and you do that for 90 days, you've done more actual work to build your empire in network marketing than 99.99% of the people who have ever been in this profession. You're a rarefied air. You're 1 out of 10,000 people. All you got to do is invite one person a day. How long does it take to invite one person? Don't tell me it takes 3 or 4 hours. It takes 3 or 4 hours to scroll Facebook, to organize your office. It takes 3 or 4 hours to worry and procrastinate. It takes 3 or 4 hours to grind and struggle and, make up all these stories about how you don't know enough and you need more training. It takes 3 or 4 hours to get trained every day if that's what you're going to spend your time doing. Or you could spend 30 minutes today and invite somebody to take a look at your opportunity. That really only takes about 10 minutes. You could change the wealth profile of your entire family in 30 minutes a day for the next 4 years. And keep that job and invest that money and become a cash millionaire. And then if you like how you have it set up, double down on it. And the next time you double down, it's only 5 years. Now you're worth $2 million. $200,000 a year for your family forever. That's Wealth Building 101 from Super MLM Man himself. Thank you for joining me.